should I cut my father off for his clear favoritism toward my siblings? I'm in my early 30s. When I was 9 my father had an affair and left my mom for this woman. She is my stepmom. They went on to have 2 children, my sisters. My father's business really took off after the divorce. He is quite wealthy. Over the years I have watched him treat his new family to a life of excess. Vacations multiple times a year to places like Paris, England, Caribbean, etc. Paid for the other kids' educations, bought them cars, designer clothing, and most recently paid for my 22-year-old sister to live in a luxury condo. They have free reign of the family credit cards and are very spoiled. I have never been invited on any of the family vacations and I usually only find out about them through their pics on social media. I grew up in poverty, having a single mom. We had what we needed but nothing more. I have worked hard to support myself, pay my rent every month, and afford my car payment and other bills. I still struggle a bit as a single girl, but make it work. My 2 sisters have not worked a day in their lives. My dad has given me a bit of money, a couple thousand, when I have been stuck in my early 20s, and always buys me nice Christmas and birthday gifts which I appreciate, but it's really nothing compared to what the others are handed. Big parties are always thrown for my sister's birthdays, graduations, etc. but I sometimes don't even receive an invite to their holiday parties. Despite everything I have a pretty good relationship with my dad, stepmom and sisters and previously didn't let the disparity of how he treats his children to bother me. I recently found out my father paid for my 22-year-old sister to have over $15k in plastic surgery and this just put me over the edge. I collect pop bottles for extra money and he knows the modest life I live. I have recently realized how little I matter to my father and how jealous I have become over how much his new family has while I struggle. Myself and other family members have brought this up to him over the years, but nothing changes. When someone brings the situation to his attention, he will send me a few $100s and feel things are fixed. Rinse and repeat year after year. I decided after an emotional week to cut off my father. He clearly doesn't care about me the way he does my other sisters and I can't have this affecting my life any longer. I wrote my dad a long email saying goodbye and expressing my pain, and I'm ready to hit send. I don't want my father to think my love is conditional on what he gives me. I love him for him, and I know I'm an adult who should support myself. This really isn't about what he has given me, but more about the clear favoritism he has shown over the years. TLDR. Father has treated my sisters to a long life of privilege, while I live in poverty. Considering cutting him off to avoid any more pain. If you have any advice please leave it in the comments for the opus. Now for the next story. My best friend is in love with my boyfriend. I don't know how to use Reddit. My boyfriend taught me so everything I know is from him, and he recommended I get into the community so here I am. I am 22, live with my boyfriend, am 22, and am friends with this guy, also am 22 lol. I've been friends with him for around 3 years. When I started college, I met him, and we clicked instantly. I introduced him to my boyfriend, who wasn't my boyfriend at the time, but was a close friend of mine from high school. Friend, let's call him Harry, not his name but yeah. So Harry had this boyfriend since I met him, but they broke up a while ago, like in December or January I think. I'm not really sure. Harry has always been the flirty type. That's his personality. He doesn't flirt with me, but he's flirted with my BF before, and I have told him to stop a handful of times. It all came to a head a few days / a week or two ago. My BF told me that Harry had come over and admitted his love for him. I was shocked, but deep down not surprised. I've seen the way he looks at him and have gotten jealous before. I'm just not one to talk about that kind of stuff. Also I trust my BF and plan on being with him for the future and stuff. BF rejected him really quickly BTW. Hi, if you're reading this love haha. I call my friend and get really upset, and it turns into a yelling match where he's telling me he can't control his feelings. I feel kind of bad for him. A few days later and here I'm now. I feel like shit. I don't have many friends cause I'm extremely introverted and have already been dealing with depression and stuff, and just recently started seeing a therapist by my BF's recommendations. He sees one. I miss Harry. He was my best friend. And I hate not having any close friends other than my BF. since I don't want to lay everything on him. I'm asking what to do in this situation. Should I reach out to Harry and try to reconcile, or at least meet up with him to have a talk with the three of us together? I feel like we could reach a mutual understanding. My BF is iffy about it, but he wants to do what I want. But I'm not sure what I want. Now for the update. I know the original post didn't get much publicity, but I wanted to do an update, in case any of y'all were curious. Thank you for the support and I took a lot of your guys' advice, I'm very grateful. So my M22 and my boyfriend M22 did get a call from Harry M22 apologizing to us. He specifically called me, but requested my boyfriend, who side note is now my fiancé, so I am a very happy man anyways, also be at the phone with me. So Harry went on this speech about how he knows he was in the wrong, and that he wants to repair a friendship with both of us. This was about 2 days after I made the original post, and suddenly he claimed he no longer had feelings for my fiancé. Yeah right. Of course neither of us believed him, and honestly his apology was kind of shit. I realized through the comments that he wasn't a true friend, and through more self-evaluation, that for a while he was using me to get close to my fiancé. That realization hurt a lot and it definitely set back my development of getting over my social anxiety. I told Harry I didn't want to repair our friendship, that I had realized he was using me, and that he definitely wasn't over my fiancé just after 2 days, when he claimed to be in love with him for over a year. I told him how he blatantly tried to take away the love of my life, and how much that deeply hurt me. Harry didn't take this well and exploded. He started cussing me out, saying how he honestly could care less about my feelings, how I was never a very good friend, how I have a tendency to push people away. Again, that's why it hurt so much losing him and feeling betrayed, because I already have a difficult time keeping friends in the first place, cause it's hard not to push people away. He told me he only stayed my friend for the past few months to try to get in my fiancé's pants. Accused my fiancé of seducing him. Honestly hilarious because my fiancé has a hard time flirting with me because he gets so shy. Adorable though. He also claimed that I cheated on my fiancé with his ex-boyfriend. Definitely not true. At that point he was just trying to convince my fiancé to break up with me again over the phone. I hung up and blocked him after giving him a few harsh words. So it's been a few days since then. My fiancé and I joined a book club as one of the commenters suggested, since he and I both take interest in books, and things are looking up. He introduced me to some people he knew that I shared a major with, and it's nice to have people that like what I like. And I'm starting to put myself out there more with the help of my fiancé, and I propose clearly. The whole thing kind of made me realize how much I loved him, and I was already planning on proposing anyways. We had gone to a place that was special to us from when we were teenagers and we hadn't been in about 4 years. So I proposed there, and he said yes. And now I'm very happy and could honestly care less about Harry. If you have any advice please leave it in the comments for the opus. Now for the next story. My 14 meters family is falling apart. Up until about March 2020, my family was fine. My parents were divorced on very good terms, had been for 9 years, but right as the COVID restriction began, my dad pretty much began losing it. In turn, this really screwed up my 18-year-old brother, who turned to drinking. This is how things were for a while, until about August, when my brother got a DUI, wrecking a car my dad had just bought him. And my dad isn't rich by any means. He's unemployed, with virtually no money. At this point my dad went virtually insane. Then, my dog and cat died, not exactly helping. Then, in December my dad finally decided to go to an inpatient facility. He came out 2 weeks later, feeling good. For about a week. He went back a month later. Same deal, felt good a week, went back. And now we are here. He came out, same thing. But now, he's totally estranged. He told my mom I loathe you, fuck you, and won't give her back the $6,000 he owes her. So my mom is also financially fucked up now. My brother is in constant conflict with my mom, and my mom is crying almost every day. I just don't know what to do. I'm mind-bogglingly stressed every day, and can't focus on anything. TL. Doctor. Family coming apart. Dad resents mom for no reason. 18-year brother picking up drinking. If you have any advice, please leave it in the comments for the opus. Now for the next story. Higher income as a girlfriend, 31, F, with boyfriend, 28, M, who has inheritance money for his own apartment. My boyfriend and I have been together for nearly 3 years, living together for 1.5. About 10 months ago, I landed a new job that had a significantly higher salary than my previous one, and I make around 3 times as much as my boyfriend. Before this, I was out of work for a while, 4 months, as we moved to another country and has significant setup costs upon arrival and have had some small debt to pay back. Since getting the job, I feel like I've been very generous with the new disposable income I have. I cover most meals, I would say 70%, groceries, and vacation costs. We split rent and utilities 50 to 50. Recently, I've noticed my boyfriend become more expectant that I should be paying for things due to my higher income. I think this would be okay for me, but the clincher is that he has recently been on the hunt to invest in his first apartment with his parents paying for a significant down payment. He has also been quite lazy in looking for a better paying job. He complains about the poor salary, but never proactively looks for work. I'm not a homeowner, but hope to be one day, and I'm starting to feel resentful towards this dynamic and his expectations. When I bring this point up to him, he makes the comment that the money is not his own for the down payment, which I find ridiculous as the property will be in his name. He is more referring to the fact that he has less cash flow than I do currently. I come from a family that didn't have much money growing up, and a mother that was always worried about it. I'm very conscious of not becoming like my mother, but also feel like this new dynamic is unfair and limits my ability to hit personal finance goals. Am I being unreasonable? Or is he? Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, please consider subscribing, it really makes my day.